Welcome to today's collective reading. This is Trinity Gaia Oracle. I'm going to be opening with a resonance to the note of G. So, let's get a feel for what's going on with the collective today. I've had a lot of information come in, and I just see what Divine Source, Love, would like you guys to know. I'm going to be using a deck I haven't used before, but being called to use it. So let's see. What would you like the collective to know, Source? Okay. Sit, hold, balance. Balanced with all the elements. You are spirit. You are in union with self. You are creating glory. Rising above. The quote on this card is, "Justice isn't done until undeath is undone." So whatever was taken from you, also a special number resonance of 7 here. Whatever was taken from you, that you perceive to be taken from you, that you perceive to be done over, not coming back. The illusion is being cleared, and the truth is rising above. Is there anything else you would like them to know? Ooh. Divine Source means business with you. Your heart is true. And because of that, everything that has happened, everything you've been going through, your aim is also true. You have hit your target. And whether you directly have been the individual who let the arrow fly, you have many energies, ancestors, angels, spirit guides, those that have crossed over that you know in life, that you've actually been able to co-create with in this life, that have passed over, that are like, all right, well, I'm going to make sure your arrow gets where it needs to go and aid that. And whatever meeting the mark means for you, it's found the mark that you set for it to hit. And you can rest knowing that this has been done. It has happened. It has occurred. It is about to happen, about to occur. Wherever this may be landing for you as a synchronicity, it's either already passed, it's currently happening, or it's just about to. Either way, you do not need to bear the weight of worrying or fretting or fussing about it, because it's already done, if you will. Because time is somewhatly relative to an extent. It is. It's somewhatly relative. It's almost fluid. So on that note, for the collective coming in, let's see what I would like to have come through with the tarot here. Interesting. Okay. Source wants me to pull in another deck in this reading. So I will, to balance the assertive energy from this deck. We have 7 of Spheres wanting to show itself in the inverted. What have you been watching grow? What have you been giving to? What have you been nurturing? The traditional image for the Seven of Pentacles is like the farmer, right? Making sure everything has just the right amount of water, that, you know, any pests are handled, the care, the health of the crop is really looked after closely. So it's watching, it's shepherding, it's nurturing, it's caring for the abundance coming in, paying attention to the detail. Oh, okay. You want me to just cut it? All right, awesome. So there must be something to do with the top and bottom. Which top we have Five of Cups in the upright, and the bottom we have the High Priestess in the upright. Overextending and reaching. So passing on 3 things because you actually desire 2. But some of the 3 cups, like if you look at those at the top, a little piece of each of those 3 cups ends up or will end up in the 2 cups. So it's reaching towards what you actually desire, figuring that out, and then manifesting it. Being open to your magician energy, your divine nature. Okay. Is there anything else you would like from this deck at this time, or would you like me to transition? Okay, I'll do 1 through. If nothing pops out, then I'll go to the other deck. Ooh, okay, so we have 2 of Spears. This came out for a more recent reading too, but at that point it came out on its side. This time it's upright. So this may be, if you resonated with you're more powerful than you realize, which the next reading led into a little more in depth on that, the romantic aspect that came out. This may have something in it for you. Well, that was interesting. Okay. It had me stall on one to pull another, to highlight another, which there was energy coming into this reading where it was, how are you, or how is an energy projecting onto you this kind of concept of just hypercritical self-talk, but you know it's not you talking to you. You know it's not your perspective of yourself. That is becoming more and more apparent to you. The inconsistency, the fine-tuning, the discernment is sharper. Is there anything more you want us to know about this card that's what you don't see here? Because it came out face down. Ooh, exactly. You don't see it. Page of Spheres. Okay, and then what you don't see on the other side. Oh, boy, okay. Yeah, okay. So we need deeper insight to get to the sun, to the happiness here. And I feel that that's where the other the other deck's coming in. Now, typically, this deck, I don't have it where I shuffle it in the reverse. So, like, everything in this deck will come out upright, but being called to allow that to occur now. So right now we have 2 of Spheres, what you don't know, what you don't see. The Page of Cups, it typically is bringing that offer forth of self. So this may definitely be what you don't see within yourself, what you don't understand, what you don't have confidence in as concrete. Kind of getting that there's somewhat of an imbalance between emotion and logic, heart space and mind space. But you ask questions and you want answers, and this may help. There may be some synchronicity in this for you guys. And I really, really hope there is, because I am so incredibly grateful to each of you. I mean, the readings that I do, you guys, your hearts are so big. And you're so focused on being careful with everything, strategic, because it matters so much. Oh, wow. Yeah, this deck is pulling out a different energy. I see why they want me to bring this other perspective in. Because if you hyper-focus in one, you lose the wisdom of the other. It's like you can't see the forest for the trees. Well, sometimes you can't see the tree for the forest. You have to find yourself compensating then, trying to understand the side that you struggle to see clearly. It's quite frustrating. And to have someone tell you that, oh, you just got to see it from another perspective. Well, all I have is my own. Frustrating. It's frustrating. I'm being told to double check this. Yeah, okay, we're good. Oh, what? I know why. Holy crap. Guys, I usually do not have source directing me to do that. Oh my gosh. The timer on the recorder, 11:11. And it had me pause with the lovers on the bottom of the deck. Okay, yeah, this definitely has to do with this Two of Spheres and a creation of balance between feminine, masculine, assertive, receptive. All right. So, supporting cards here. So we have Celestial Time Weaver, with time being fluid, came out earlier, and the Hierophant. Ooh, are you listening to the receptive, the feminine, the Divine Mother, the Holy Spirit? Are you listening to this aspect of yourself while you're going through these different timelines? Because both are feminine forms. And these questions only you will really have the answer to. And if they're triggering, that's because there's possibly some healing here. But really, you guys are the only ones that have the answer to these questions, because it's your relationship with the divinity within you. Wow, okay, someone needed to have that validation there. So what you don't see is the Four of Cups in the upright. The energy I get immediately off this card is exactly how balanced you are, as above, so below. And you're in the middle. You're there like this channel. You're living it, and you're touching both. And I just get this feeling of like anticipation, like someone in a crowd who's trying to see the front of the crowd, what's going on stage, for example, and they're trying to look over everybody so that they're like standing on something next to them and they're peering over everybody's head. That level of almost childlike anticipation. Okay. It's like telling you, like, you know that this is good because the divinity within you and the divine, that part of you that like you don't have the answer to, because you're not supposed to know the answer. You're supposed to be able to actually live your life. And for whomever this is reading for, this is a very uncomfortable state for you. You're very used to knowing what's coming before it comes. And that's part of the gift. You get to fully be yourself in this dynamic. You're more alive because of that. So even if you wanted to look away, you can't. Because it's the one thing you don't have the answer for. And that is not by chance. That is designed that way. This is the gift. The not knowing is the gift. Now, the other side here, we have the Eight of Spheres. Get a feeling of waiting, and keeping everything in the air. Don't drop anything. Balance, even though there's distraction. Like there's an anxiety instead of anticipation here. I mean, depending on how long you've been juggling, that shit might get kind of old. You might want to just take a break. Your muscles might start to get weak and a little burning. Besides, like, this image, the person is craning their neck up for an indefinite amount of time. They may want this to come to a close, and I don't blame them. I don't blame you guys. If you're resonating with this, or if this is like, yeah, I could totally see this in the person that I'm trying to understand. But keep in mind, this is mirrored, so you're both ready. You're both ready for this, both sides of this co-creation. I want to know a little more about this Hierophant in the reverse. Because it's saying like there's guidance coming through, but you're not necessarily receptive to hearing it. And it could be that a feminine aspect to divinity is triggering. Because the Hierophant in this deck is an older woman. It's like the maiden mother crone. It's the crone version. It's the crone side of the Trinity. So if this were masculine, it would be like the father. Or grandfather. So what this Hierophant is trying to tell you that you're not necessarily able to see because you're so focused on keeping everything going is that this is protected. This is acknowledged and protected. I'm hearing, you can't see your note despite your face. You're not seeing this justice come in yet. You're looking for some sign, some synchronicity. But like a rigidity within you to, without something to verify, yes, this is actually here, it's now. If you don't see that, you're like, well, I'm not open to receiving it until I see that it's here. And that's kind of like a chicken and egg issue. Yeah, exactly. Like, know that this is yours. Know that the energy I get from this Queen of Pentacle card is just how incredibly at peace you become when you are in your natural environment. You're not analyzing. You're not scrolling. You're not looking for the next intuitive nudge. You just simply are. You are present and you're aware of the connection that you have with yourself in that awareness. That divine spark allows you to grow. So this may be guidance. If you're not really feeling like too receptive, to spend some time where you feel like that. Natural environment is going to be nature. It's going to be outside. It's going to be where you really feel like a part of you is, I mean, maybe it's stargazing. I'm getting the whole, when you stare into the abyss stares into you. What that means to me in this card and why it's coming through, what's wanting to be highlighted is that wherever you're able to feel that awe, that you're able to contemplate even the vastness of everything that is, and experience that gratitude that you're able to be aware that you're contemplating it. It allows you to communicate in a deep way with yourself that is free from all the distraction of modern life. And there's a lot of distraction. So much distraction. So in that space, this concept of being acknowledged, of being protected, and you will receive this information, not that you don't already have it. You'll begin to feel it as truth. It's not about waiting. It's not about making a decision. It's not about something clicks and it all just turns into like a domino effect and then and rides the unicorn with, you know, a Skittle rainbow. You know, it's not like a disconnection from reality. It's actually an acceptance of what is more. You are abundant within yourself. That awareness that you have of yourself, what is meant for you is meant for you. That's what it is. You are the gift. Everything that you need to know exists in this space. There's no need to juggle. This becomes effortless. I mean, if you can have this level of energy, celestial time weaver, doing this is like something you could do without thinking then. I'm hearing that it's like you have done so much and you've lifted so much weight that now you're like so strong that things that will come to you to try to challenge you, your discernment is so sharp. And you know the space within you. And as this confidence grows in you, that yeah, you are acknowledged, you are safe. The justice is here because you know this, you experience this. What does this exactly mean for, you know, the collective moving into this Two of Cups, you know, very synchronous 11-11 lovers card energy? What are we like moving towards here? Given that this guidance has come through, those that have received this message know this, and it's going to possibly affect decisions or how they feel, how they choose to weave their timeline. That's where we're needing a little more confirmation. Where is this exactly going here? You know, given that advice, where exactly is this going? Because now we now know. So I'm going to put these two here. We're going to do some shuffle, because this is still about the Two of Spheres, and it's in the upright, guys. It didn't go inverted. The Two of Spheres is there more as a reminder, placeholder, that there is an interaction, like your strengths within yourself of masculine, feminine, assertive, receptive. There's a constant dance, a balancing act. Given your environment, your stimuli, you're adapting always. In other words, if you're at work, you put on a different person hat. Like this is your role, this is your job, this is your scope. This is how best to move in a professional manner versus at home with the kids. I'm getting someone's a parent here, and they know they're setting an example, and that you're possibly a little harder on yourself than you need to be, that your children observe whatever you're going through with a perception that you don't necessarily allow yourself to have of yourself. They see you through a lens of unconditional love. Okay. Okay. It's interesting. So this is concern of how the world around you that you care about, possibly. Going into this, of course, that would be of concern. Oh. Okay. So I just heard that this is something to do with those that look to you, that you are setting an example for. What example are you actually setting by pursuing this? There may be some internal conflict around this. we got like 3 there. Yeah, makes sense that the moon came out. That's just validating. It's just validating. There's some inner healing work here. It's really interesting that all 4 of these are upright so far. So we have the 5 of Swords. Do you know the truth about what you actually offer? And if you do know this truth, this Page of Cups is such a raw, honest, vulnerable aspect of you that you've never offered to anyone. And this individual that you're in a, lovers to a spheres dynamic with, that you're creating with, is the only person who's ever inspired this much authentic intimacy from you. This is not just like a physical intimacy or a superficial level of vulnerability. This is authentic. It is raw. It is deep. And it's very abundant in the physical, very grounded in earth. This is the example that you're setting. Okay. The concern is whether or not. So the Hierophant in this deck is like, I don't know. That's the energy I get from that is, what do I do? But it's in the reverse. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly what to do. You're not in conflict about it. Okay. So the highlighting here is this very message. You know the truth and you're standing on it. I'm hearing 10 toes down. Like you also are standing on everything that was an obstacle between you and knowing this truth. Typically, the 5 of Swords is like, unnecessary, silly distraction. But you know that truth. You know that truth so much that it has replaced your head in this image. This is the sword, the Archangel Michael's sword of truth. Excuse me. So whatever this connection is, there's no doubt in you. There's no doubt in you. And because of this vulnerability that you can only have with this individual, and you know that 10, interesting, 10, I was going to say 10 of Cups. That's a synchronicity, definitely, because it's very obviously the King of Spheres, or the King of Pentacles. This will bring in quite a bit of abundance into your life, because wherever love like this exists, there's a lot of potential to manifest what is necessary to support that love in the physical reality. Because love like this begins with love of self. You can't make that offer to anyone until you love yourself and know yourself. So you have that discernment of what is not you, which each one of these swords is, that's not my truth, that's not my truth, that's not my truth. The one that you have there, you know your truth. Okay. It's very clearly concern about the family, specifically those with children, came through. So this 10 of Pentacles, or 10 of Pentacles now, 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, that may be what you need to know. Yeah, I mean, very clearly it's coming in. And this is the 9 of Pentacles here. It's coming down into the physical reality, and it amplifies. It gets more and more pointed and direct and focused as it comes in. It may take some time for it to fully manifest. That doesn't mean that it's not here. And fully manifest may be something like, you don't, unless you're in a culture where arranged marriage is a thing, you typically don't start there. You let things build. It's like a slow burn. You let the slow burn occur because you're building and reaffirming and reasserting the foundation. You're double checking every nail, every screw, every glue joint, every socket, every 2x4 when there's the slow burn. well, we're going to move into what do you guys need to know in closing for this reading. What does the collective need to know in closing here? Is there any additional synchronicities, messages that need to come through? Whew. The Magician did a dance and went inverted. This is telling me to look within. The 10 of Cups. Yeah. That begins within self. Look within self. And you'll see you already have this 10 of Cups. There's a vulnerability as well with this particular 10 of Cups. And an appreciation for that. And the Sun, yeah, everything exists within you that you need. You just need looked within. This is co-created with the divine, the Trinity within self, and Gaia is present. It's a tree, roots, that below, that above. You are connected. Like, think of it like the tree up here is like the divine mind. There's all the guidance, all the love that is ever and ever will exist. And then the roots, that's your mind, that's your energy, that's your experience, that's all that's around you and all those around you that love you that are currently in existence right now or coming into existence. It's all connected. And there's, in particular, 3 different main trees that are interwoven here. The answer that you seek is within you, is within you. You already have the Sun, but do you acknowledge that you have it? You already have the 10 of Cups, but do you acknowledge that that's what you're experiencing? And you have manifested this. You have wanted this, you've desired this, possibly your whole life, but do you accept that this is true? And if you have, why are you possibly resisting? Why are you refusing, if you are, to go within? What is stopping the collective? What is holding them back? This is what was holding you back. Because this card is an invitation. This is the 5 of Cups. Now I'm going to put this up right because the image there is just so poignant. So poignant. This life is a gift. And it's not always easy. And sometimes you do find yourself heartbroken looking back at the past and what didn't work and what you're leaving behind if you move forward. When you look at all the chances, all the things that occurred for you to be here, to not turn and look at the opportunity before you with the 2 of Cups in this situation. Because honestly, right here, like there's 3 of Cups here. What is this person looking towards? They're not looking towards this 3 of Cups down here. And all the cups that come with turning towards the 2 of Cups, all the new people, the new relationships, the new creations. This is a somber experience. I mean, you may have some serious, yes, freedom, but when this comes in for the collective it's meant for, this may be something that's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged truth. The sword can defend, it can protect, it can bring knowledge as it's the element of air, but it can also cut. The truth can hurt. So when this comes in, this individual may be relieved. It's kind of like someone that you love that had a very long slow experience of moving into the next life. And when they pass away, the feeling of being relieved for them that they're no longer suffering, that is a lot of what this card is giving me. That you maybe love this individual. And this, to me in particular, this is going to relate to the individuals like, my dad. In that he suffered quite a bit right up until he passed, but he lived with such passion. So I loved him and I mourned him and I miss him, and I wanted to have more memories and I wanted to have more time. This card may be a synchronicity that someone in your life is passing, and in their passing a truth has been revealed to you. It could be just an ending and the death of a dream, a relationship where you gave and gave and gave and gave and gave. And you hoped eventually that things would work out, but they just never did. And it's letting go of something you gave so much of yourself to, that there's hurt there. So when this person comes in, it's not necessarily going to be like Mardi Gras feel. It could be more of like it's interesting, Mardi Gras, like the New Orleans, like when someone dies, they do like a whole like jazz. I can't remember, there's a specific name for it and I can't think of it right now, but they basically play this very happy celebratory jazz parade like music all the way till, the graveyard where they get to, say their final goodbyes. So there's a somber aspect, there's a somber side to it. Definitely an ending. Definitely an ending. So something had to end in order for this new beginning to happen. However, for those of you that are very concerned about how this affects those around you, especially if there's children involved here. With these cards, there are children. And that's the Sun, and that's the Ten of Cups. You know that where you're going, happiness is actually possible. Positive, loving, concrete, stable environments and teaching. Because that's really what you are when you're a parent. You're a teacher. You're modeling and teaching. And this is what you wanted. But in order for this to happen, some things had to end. It's like in order for there to be a new beginning, there has to be an ending. Okay, and with that, I'm gonna bring this particular reading to a close. We have the King of Swords. You know the truth, and you know your will, and that you're creating with the divine here. So, yeah, there's a very deep sadness here. So, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm so incredibly grateful for all the beautiful, loving hearts that I have had the opportunity to really channel for and co-create these readings with. So I am so very grateful to each of you. You're such beautiful souls. So thank you. Thank you so much. The divine, the love within me, honors the divine, the love within you.